Hi, welcome to this edition of Garden Guns. In the last video I said that I was going to be doing a pistol, and as you can see, this is not a pistol. This is yet again another rifle I've been given to test from Phil and Tracey at Leicestershire Airguns, and I wanted to get this back to them as quickly as possible as soon as I had the opportunity to sit down and do this video. And this is the first time in a couple of weeks I've actually had the chance to do one. So today, what are we talking about? We are talking about this fantastic bit of kit. This is an Air Arms TX200. It's a spring-powered air rifle, and in my opinion, it's probably one of the best springers available on the marketplace for the cash, which we'll talk about a little bit more when I come to do the conclusions of this video. This is the full-length one. It's in 2.2. I've already done the chronograph section on this, and it came out at 10.9 foot-pounds, which is around about 556 feet per second, I think was the best reading I got, and that was using JSB Jumbo Diablo pellets, 15.89 grains. So this is, you know, good, knocking on the door of 11 foot-pounds, which is where I think you want a Springer to be. One of the nicest things I've found out while shooting this, because I've not had an opportunity to play with the TX200 really before. I've chronographed a few, but I haven't actually had any range time with one, and it has been a surprise. It's been a delight to shoot, and it has also shown my glaring inabilities to shoot a Springer particularly well, which you'll see in the downrange portion when we do the group. I always pull at least 2 shots in the group. I change my hold or something, you know, and I don't notice it, or I just, you know, adjust the way that I'm gripping the rifle, apply a bit more pressure to the hold, and you know, there's just that little shift in impact. And to be fair, it's one of the things I think is the most enjoyable about shooting a Springer, is sort of refining that constantly repeated technique, which when shooting a PCP and a pre-charge rifle, you really don't have to worry about so much. You can almost be a bit sloppy when shooting one of those in terms of your technique, and the rifle won't punish you for it. Whereas with a Springer, especially a highly tuned Springer, any mistakes in your technique will result in a point of impact, or any changes in the way that you are holding or gripping the rifle will, in my experience, result in that shift, point of impact shift, which is something that I am not used to be honest. I really don't shoot Springers that often. I've got an HW80 upstairs, which is an absolute cannon, and I will be doing a video on that later at some point in the future. But I wanted to do a little bit more research on the HW80, you know, understand the design ethos behind it, so I could talk about that a little bit more, because it is a fantastic rifle in my opinion. But that will be a video for another day. This one, I think it comes across almost like a tuned rifle when shooting it. The cycle's solid, I think the best way to describe it is. There's no twanginess, there's no sort of bangy or thud in it, you know. It gives you, well, thud, it gives you a good sort of thunk when you shoot it. Hopefully I will be able to demonstrate that when or that will come across in the downrange portion of the video. What else? The trigger on this I find fantastic. It's a really nice 2-stage trigger. This has got a good defined first stage and then quite a light second stage as you pull through, so you come up against a really well defined second stage, and then it's just a small movement and the rifle lets go, and sends that pellet down range with a fairly good force. You know, 10.9 foot-pounds is definitely not to be sneezed at in terms of a legal limit air rifle. So let's get down range. I'll embarrass myself somewhat, and then we'll come back and have a little bit of a summing up of what I think about this thing. Okay. So here we go. Whoop, lucky chair's falling to pieces. Fixed it. TX200, 25 meters, 10 shots, JSB, exact jumbo Diablos, 15.89 grains. Let's see how I do. It's probably going to be an example of how not to shoot a Springer. So, right, one of the things I like about this TX200 is its underlever action. I kind of, it's the first real underlever I've ever spent any time with. I've got an HW80, as I said earlier, upstairs, and that's a stunning rifle, but it's a break barrel. It is accurate when I do my bit, but I do like the I do like the arrangement with an underlever. I do think it's pretty good, and the TX200 as well has an anti-bear trap mechanism, which, for those of you that don't know, is basically a safety mechanism to hopefully prevent the action from closing should the sear let go. Having said that, I do believe in good Springer safety, which means keeping hold of the barrel or the underlever anytime you're cocking the rifle. He says, waving his hand all over the place. So basically that gives you ultimate control over the action. So should that sear let go, you're not waiting or hoping for any mechanical interference to stop that from the action from slamming shut. And you know, at best, if that action does slam shut, at best, you know, you're going to break the rifle. You're going to cause the rifle some damage. At worst, you know, you could potentially cause yourself a nasty injury should your fingers be in the breech or, you know, anywhere near the barrel if it's a break barrel. But anyway, so as you can see, the lever is locked down by that bear trap. So we put a pellet into the breech, a little catch on the side to release the underlever, push it forward, and we are good to go. Now, one of the things I do like about the TX200 is the fact it's got an automatic safety, and in my view, anything that gives you that extra layer of safety to help prevent an accidental or negligent discharge and a pellet going in a direction that you don't particularly want it to is a good thing in my book. But I know quite a lot of people don't really like it. So, but you know, each to their own. So, a little bit of a breeze. Just gonna have to shoot through it. So let's see how I do. Hopefully not too badly. Okay. Right. I can see the two mistakes I've made down there. Let me go and grab the card and we'll talk about it. Right, so here we go. As you'll see from the downrange footage, a group was going oh so very well, and then I had that one. Now me or a flyer, I'm not completely sure. Now that was definitely me. I sort of tensed up a little bit that very last shot, you know, desperate to try and print a really good group, and I think I tensed up and just changed my grip somewhat. I think I just, yeah, gripping a little bit harder, and that's, you know, in my experience, that's the difference between a good group on a Springer and a you know, a bit more of a ragged group. You should see some of the ones that I was shooting while I was getting to grips with this rifle. Some of them were, yeah, not great. That's, you know, that's the bulk of that group. I mean, that's what this rifle can do. These two here, yeah, that's what I can do when I'm shooting a Springer. So the TX200, without a shadow of a doubt, has absolutely delighted me in terms of its ability and in terms of its shootability. It's got a really nice, I would almost say, it feels almost like a tuned action. You know, it performs brilliantly when you do your part, as you can see. As I say, those two shots, you know, one of those that last one I definitely pulled. The other one, I mean, that was quite a way out, so maybe a flyer, but probably more likely to be me. So, you know, I'll be honest, I see one of these rifles in my future. Probably the carbine, no, which one ever, the carbine. I think I definitely wouldn't mind picking one of those up. Which caliber? 177, 22? I'd probably go for a 22, I think. Due to the fact that, you know, I'd like it as a sort of 25 meter, you know, pesting tool. You know, that ability to not have to worry about gas, not have to worry about, you know, air, whether you're going to run out of air in the bottle, you know, whether you've actually got your bottle is full and you can refill the cylinder on it. You know, this is literally a pick it up out of the cabinet and take it out and put food on the table sort of rifle. You know, it does phenomenally well in 177 and HFT. I've seen a lot of guys when I was shooting HFT. A lot of the guys that were shooting Springers were using the TX200. It seemed to be a very, very popular rifle. And as I say, I think, you know, when you can see when you do your part, this rifle is capable of grouping, you know, 5 pence. And that's at, you know, 25 meters, not my normal 30, but you know, I think at 30 meters that those flyers would have been sort of far more there, so far further off the card. So yeah, I wanted to give myself at least a fair chance of looking halfway decent on video. Yeah, but as I say, I like this so much. I think, you know, it's definitely a rifle I'll be looking out, and I'll be having a word with Phil and Tracey sort of towards the end of the year, or maybe the beginning of next year. You know, look, Christmas present maybe, if I'm lucky enough, from my wife. Although I have got something else I'm looking at the moment for that. But I definitely wouldn't mind picking one of these up. Probably go for one, if I can get it, go for one with a walnut stock, because I do like a nice walnut stock. I was going to leave myself wide open there. But what else can I say about it? I think the fact that I actually would try and pick one of these up, out of all the rifles that I've you know, shot and basically been given to test from Phil and Tracey, this is one of the ones I would definitely, well, I definitely think I'm going to be cracking out my hard-earned cash to try and get hold of. I think the TX200, for anybody that is looking for a really good Springer, is definitely worth consideration. It is heavy. I think that's probably the only real downside on this, is the fact that it is quite a heavy rifle. So lugging it around in the field all day, you know, you probably want to get sling swivels fitted to it. But other than that, I don't really think there's anything I can complain about. I just, you know, it's been an absolute delight to shoot. So on that, I think I'll bring this video to an end. I hope it's been of interest. as I said, as I'll say it again, hopefully the next video I do will be on this. There's a pistol. It's a bit different. I haven't got around to testing it yet, and I'm hopefully going to rope my son in to give me a hand with it. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Until the next one, thanks a lot for watching, and stay safe. All the best.